What features should you be looking for on your new hearing aids? Let me tell you.
Hearing aids for life, here's the answer.
Okay, you've decided hearing aids are right for you or one of your loved ones. What's the next step? Well, you're obviously going to hop on Google and you're going to get everything under the sun, and frankly, not much of it's going to be really appropriate for you or your loved one. What would I search for first? I would go to either Oticon or Phonak website, and I would go to their search engine and find a local professional in my area. I would cross those and see if you found somebody that worked with both companies. I would argue that's a really good spot to start, as those are my favorite two companies to work with. The other thing to look for is the professionals in your area. The letters you can look for after somebody's name. AUD is an audiologist. HIS and HAS are hearing aid or hearing instrument specialists. I hopped on my phone and I typed in Phonak find a professional, and I typed in Oticon find a professional, and as you can see, here's the answer. I hear good things about them. I matter. Whoever your person is matters, but you're buying that one person. Person aside, if we're strictly talking products, what are we going to look at next? We're going to look at the brand of hearing aid next, because there are 7 hearing aid companies. I'm going to list them here. If you're getting any one of those 7 companies, you are buying a good quality hearing aid. Well, the first thing most of y'all probably thought of when what's next is, what can I afford? And what you can afford is a huge part of the hearing aid process. Unfortunately, you get to buy your quality of life with a hearing aid, because if you don't have any funds, you're not going to get a good quality hearing aid. There's simply no way around that unfortunate fact. If you do have some funds, then honestly, it's pretty good for you. There's a lot of great products on the market. So let's say we're on a budget. What's a realistic price range? Honestly, for a pair of hearing aids, you're around $4,000. I know that's a lot of money, and for some of you, I just lost and you just clicked out of the video. I'm simply factually stating an approximate amount of money where quality hearing aids really start. They can go all the way up to my practice. My most expensive product is $6,800. Now that same product in your area could be up $9,600 or $10,000. It's very regional over what products cost what where. In the Dalles, I can keep my prices lower because I simply have myself and Angela. As a smaller operation, I have a lower overhead, so that's how I'm able to keep my prices lower than some people down in maybe like the Portland area or something where their rent's higher and they have 20 employees. It costs a lot to have employees, and then you pay for an entire practice when you buy a product from them. Words like digital and nano, and now it's going to be deep neural network. The industry is full of these terms, and look at these great hearing aids I got. This industry is full of silly terms at the end of the day. And so there's honestly no one keyword that's going to help you find the exact feature in your hearing aid. The number of bands of your hearing aids honestly don't make much difference. It's a lot of the stuff you don't see and your professional understands is what really makes for a good product. So as the reality of it is, the number one thing you should search for is finding someone you can trust at the end of the day. I jokingly call myself an interpreter because I have to interpret the nonsense of the hearing aid market and make it make sense for my patients that walk in my door. Unfortunately, there are people who take advantage of the fact that this is such a difficult industry to make sense of, and people can get taken advantage of with poor products. I mean, honestly, a lot of the over-the-counter stuff, that stuff you're seeing in the magazine or your television commercial, they're not really there to help improve your hearing. They're getting a couple bucks from you and moving on to the next guy. They know you're only going to buy one pair because it's not going to work, but it doesn't matter because they got their money that one time. Those type of places typically don't last long is the good news, but with the internet and the world as big as it is, there's always someone up who's there to make a quick buck and take off. Thank you for taking the time to watch this week's video. For all of you that have subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate it. For those of you who haven't, it really helps if you just hit that little subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. I will see you next week. Thanks.
Hearing aids for life, here's the answer.